Alright, give me just a second, ladies and gentlemen, and apologies for the very delayed start the stream. I really need to work on waking up earlier. Alright, so, welcome back, Awakenings. I am the expert of experts, the master of disaster, the one and only voice here, son of a Gozdrola, and we're doing a Digimon Zatsudan. So, I believe last time we were talking about, Season 4. It was either Season 4 or Season 5. I can't remember exactly which one. How about we talk about some of the games? How about we talk about some of the games? So, I did not know that Digimon World came out before the anime did. Like, at all. I had no idea. It's actually insane. Can we explain why some things are a little bit weird? Like how, Phoenixmon and Machinedramon are both classified as Ultimate because Mega didn't exist at that point. This is my first Digimon game. How many of you actually played Digimon? Any of you? Any of you actually played the Digimon series? Give me just a second. Give me just a second. 1 second. But yeah, this was my very first Digimon game. I remember this game when I first played it being stupidly hard. It is a very solid game, though. I do think this is a very solid game. Has it aged well with time? Not really. I'm gonna be real, it has not aged very well with time. So, you know what? I feel like they should re-release the first 3 Digimon World games and give it, like, quality of life updates so that, you know, it doesn't run so clunkily. Technically, there is like a remake, quote-unquote, of Digimon World, which is like Digimon World Next Order. I suppose you could call it a remake. I don't know if that really falls like a remake. That's more like a sequel, but you know what I mean. So, in this game, you take the role of some kid. Oh, it's Mamio. Apparently his name is Mamio, but you can name him whatever. Who is dragged to the Digimon World to save File Island from some mysterious incident where everyone's all, you know, spread about and, you know, becoming feral and all that. And ultimately you end up finding Analog Man, what kind of a name is Analog Man? So, that's really all there is. There's not really much of a story outside of that. Like, you get your little bit of story at the start, and you just go around exploring, recruiting, until you get to the very end. So there's only a little bit of story at the start and at the end. There's not really much story in between. It's just random stuff. Sounds like a Digimon game, or a Digimon thing, honestly. It does sound a lot like Digimon. So, yeah, I remember playing this game a lot back in the day. I remember one particular story that, there was one time that my sister wanted to play Digimon World. And she had me do it instead because I don't know why. She does that all the time with video games. And I managed to finish the game in a single day of playing with the very first Digimon you get. Like, I believe it was a Mamemon. It was either a Mamemon or Melmamemon I ended up beating the game with. And it was literally right before he was died from old age. I never thought I would ever be able to do that. I don't even know if I can do that anymore. Like, that's... Thinking about it now, that's honestly insane. Yep, we're talking about the video games. Did you ever play Digimon World 1, Hate? Yeah, Monsemon is amazing, dude. You played the 3? We'll get the 3 in a little bit, at some point. I am going to be stopping at 6 o'clock because Nimi is going to be streaming. I'm very late because, you know, stuff happens, you know. But yeah, I remember this game also being hard, if only because trying to do the stupid training is annoying. The slot machines, I used to be, back in the day, able to nail the 777 of a slot machine. And let me tell you, when I tried to do the sorts for the slots, I could not figure out how I did that. I was like, how did I do this back in the day? I used to be able to get these every single time. But yeah, like, I think that's how I managed to beat it in one day with a Mamemon, or Metal Mamemon. I used to, do that. Yeah, Monsemon is super common. I mean, to be fair, like, I think Monsemon's also what speedrunners use. Well, no, they use Pokemon. They use Pokemon. They try to get Pokemon if they get, manipulate the game so that they get, Thunder Justice. It's either Thunder Justice or Megalospark from, the Ghoulmons or whatever they're called, the Pokemons with the hats in, Mayutismon's, lair. Fun fact, did you know there's 3 dumbed out Digimon in the game? Or, in fact, 3 of them that would have been playable. So, one of them is Pangeamon, who is basically Ice Leomon. I think he's supposed to be called Ice Leomon. He's still fully functional. He's got Fist of the Beast Kings. There is Metal Enamon, which was a big rumor back in the day of how to get Metal Enamon, when you have to get a metal banana in order to do that. I believe it had something to do with, like, buying bananas from Enamon, or, like, doing something at Enamon's place to get the thing. It was one of those playground rumors that you heard back in the day, you know. But yeah, Metal Enamon was another one. I forget who the last one was. There was a third one. Oh, it was, Gigadramon. Because you could get Megadramon. Gigadramon was the other one. And I don't think Gigadramon was in the game proper, but yeah, it was Gigadramon, Metal Enamon, and Pangeamon. Reminder, there is no Mega level Gigalusion. Ultimate is the highest, so Metal Enamon and Machine Dramon were both classified as Ultimate, because again, this was before the anime even happened. And keep in mind, too, Machine Dramon was considered the strongest Digimon. Of all the Digimon, he was considered the strongest. Boy, how the anime made a fool out of him, huh? Boy, how the anime made a fool of Machine Dramon. I think it also talked about how you could get Mayutismon, but like, there was no way to ever get Mayutismon. There's nothing in the game that lets you get him. It's also weird that, like, you never fight Mayutismon. The only Digimons you don't fight are Digimon and Mayutismon. Oh, and King Numamon. Okay, no, a Shogun Gekomon. Those are the 4 you don't ever fight. I think you fight literally everyone else. Do you fight Phoenixmon? I don't think you ever fight Phoenixmon, right? I think you only fight Birdramon. I know you fight like Waruseedramon, which is just, you know, Mega Seedramon palette, really. You never fight Waymon. Now, there's a few Digimon you never actually fight, thinking about it. Also, let me just say, and I'm sure everyone can agree on this, screw Piximon. Screw fine Piximon. Piximon is such a trap. Oh my god, and he's such a jerk to fight too. Like, he is so awful to fight. And fun fact, the enemy can run out of MP when fighting them, so if you're having trouble surviving them, just make them run out of MP. Just make a whole bunch of healing items and revive them. And there are in-game achievements too. And let me tell you, trying to get all the in-game achievements is a nightmare. I've never done it. I have never once done it. Because one of them, yeah, it's a Metal Greymon. So that Metal Greymon is also the card you get. If you bought this when the game came out, it came with a Metal Greymon card. And this is what it came with. I think it's actually referred to as Metal Greymon Virus. I think this is referred to as Metal Greymon Virus. But yeah, you could get this card that used the same artwork when you bought the game. One of the big issues I have with the game is how clunky it is. Like, it is so clunky to move around that game. And it's so loud, too. Like, you take one step and it's like, bump, 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 bump. Your Digimon takes a step and it's like, some really, like, it's very, loud. Let's say. It's very, very loud. That's specifically the line that gives you Black War Greymon, is it? Interesting. This is before Black War Greymon was ever a thing. So, the main gameplay is you raise your Digimon. You start with a rookie at the start of the game, but whenever a Digimon dies of old age, or just, you know, dies 3 times, don't ever let them die 3 times, because that makes you lose abilities and lose stats and stuff like that. It will be a reborn, yeah, he did show up until Season 2. It will be reborn as a baby, that you have to raise up her in training. It doesn't take very long. And then in training a rookie, which doesn't take very long. And the rookie champion depends on the stats you have. So, in order to get specific Digimon, you have to have specific stats, where it's in, like, any of the base stats, HP, MP, attack, defense, speed, brains, where you have, like, happiness at a certain level, where you have discipline at a certain level, depending on how many mistakes you've made with them, which is like letting them go hungry, not sleeping, pooping. Yes, pooping is a mechanic. The amount of fights. There's a lot of ways of gigs evolving. Like an champion goes to ultimate, and that's yeah, this game was kind of hard. Especially back then. Now, if you played it enough like I did, it wasn't as hard. Because you knew where to get stuff. It's like, okay, I know where to get Megalospark. I know where to get Hero Drop. So I used to use Hero Drop a lot. It's not a very strong move, but it does inflict a dot status or flat status in this game. Which makes the target turn into an LCD version of themselves. And their only move is like a slow projectile that does like hardly any damage. But yeah, I would always aim for like Megalospark, Thunder Justice, Hair Drop, Aurora, Freeze, there's specific abilities I would always aim for. If you knew what to get, it wasn't that hard of a game. And if you knew where to get Digimon fast, you could get your stuff quickly. Like, okay, this is where I want to go first. Let's grab all these free Digimon. Just make sure you don't grab too many and end up finding Greymon on accident or Airdramon. That's always a fun time when you end up finding Greymon or Airdramon and you're not ready for them. It's like, this is bad. Some moves are better than others. Confused Storm is a great move, too. And the way you learn the move, there's 2 ways. Either you learn them from, training up brains, if there's a chance you learn it every 100 brains you get, there's a small chance of learning a move you haven't learned. Or, you see it from an enemy if there's a small chance of getting it from an enemy. It's better to get from enemies than from training because, you know, you can fight enemies more than, you know, train brains. And you do want to train stats up a lot. Like, brains you don't want to neglect. I think 500 is the highest you really need for brains, but like, if you don't train up brains, you won't be able to specifically control what your Digimon does. Like, at the start, you can only tell it to attack or run away, I believe. Or just attack. At like 500, you can pick the specific moves. You can tell it to defend, you can tell it to move away, etc., etc. Yeah, it can't be too stupid for combat. I think there are times, like, depending on its brains, depending on its discipline, its happiness, it may just like, you know, it may just derp in the middle of a fight and just stand there and do nothing. Sometimes the enemy does that. It's usually with the lower level enemies, but sometimes enemies do that. So that's that. You need to feed your Digimon, otherwise they will lose stats. So yeah, they will lose weight, and if you don't feed them, they will drain stats at a certain point, and it will kill them eventually. Let me think. So, you can equip up to 3 abilities. Now, the abilities you can equip are dependent on the Digimon. You cannot use every single ability in the game on one Digimon. Like, for example, Agumon is Fight and Fire. And only specific ones. You can't use every single Fight and Fire move in the game. So, you have to be wary of that. So you want to make sure you get a good amount of abilities for the type of Digimon that you want to use, especially at the end game. That's why people use Pokemon, because he gets the best moves, which is Megalo, Spark, and Thunder Justice. Those are like two of the best moves of the game. A lot of Digimon can use those moves too, so it's best to get those moves. Give me a second. Alright, I sneezed. Great. What else? So, the max you need to get in order to get the endgame, I believe, is 50 population. Once you get 50, you can go to the final dungeon, but like, the final dungeon's kind of rough, especially if you're not prepared. So you really, really want to find a specific Digimon. For example, you want to find Palmon and upgrade your meat farm immediately. You want to get Rain Plant somewhere to get Vegemon and upgrade your meat farm to the max. You want to find Bayamon and upgrade your sub, etc., etc. You want to find Centauromon for the hospital. So yeah, there's a lot of Digimon that you want to find before you want to go to end game. Otherwise, you're going to have some difficulty. Some Digimon don't do anything at all. Some of them just, you know, lurk around like Ogremon. None of the female Digimon. I mean, technically, do we consider Biyomon and Palmon female? I don't know if we can consider them female. But outside of like that, like the actual ones, like say, Agumon and stuff, no, there's really not. We only even get, I mean, this is season 1. Basically, there's no Gatomon, so you know, I mean, there's not even really any females in, season 1. Remember, this is before the anime. I mean, Rosemon never even existed just yet. Remember, Digimon World 1 was before the anime in Japan. It says it right here. Right here. It's strictly based on the virtual pets. So I don't know if Rosemon was around as a virtual pet. Probably, but you know. I would say some fights in this game are a lot more eviler than other fights. Also, there's a lot of bugs in this game. Let me see if I can find the bugs. Errors. There's a lot of glitches, and it's mostly in the US version. So the game freezes when you try to access Gyromon's jukebox. You could get stuck on Mojamon. You could get a card stuck on the screen if you look at the cards. There's a lot of bugs. Yeah, there is an RPG kind of based on Season 1 anime. And it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird because it does it in a very different way. Which is, you actually start with Omnimon in that. Like, Omnimon is like the very first thing you see. And Omnimon's like the last thing you get in that game, from what I recall. It's a weird anime. It's Japan, or game. It's Japan only, too. So, you know, I would like to try it, but like, I don't know how I would. Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. That's exactly the one I'm referring to, is the JP PSP game. So, and I guess there is a fair translation if I really wanted to play it. I don't know how hard that game is here. So yeah. I remember borrowing a strategy guide for this game, by the way. That's the only reason I knew about Phoenixmon, Mega Seedramon, and, who's the other hidden Digimon? Phoenixmon, Mega Seedramon, was it Enamon? It might have been Enamon that was the other hidden Digimon. But like, the requirements to get these Digimon are asinine, dude. There's like no way you would know this stuff back in the day. Like, it's physically impossible to have known all of the Digimon. Because it's just like, bro, how are you supposed to know in order to get Pokemon, you have to die? You have to die, and then there's like a 50% chance that when you lose a life, your Digimon becomes a Pokemon. What? How's anyone supposed to know that? Or, you know, you die when your discipline or happiness is like really low and you become a Gebimon when you're at Onjamon. Like, there's some really, really bizarre stuff. Also, this game introduced... This is the game that introduced all the palette swaps like Ice Gebimon, Hoi Agumon, Warumonsei-mon, Hekamon, Mugmon. Like, there's so many palette swaps of Digimon in this game. And it carries on into, like, the animes and, like, future Digimon games. Like, it's insane. Like, this series is riddled with, like, palette swaps of the originals. Like, riddled. It's like Agumon is the Sora of Digimon. Because, you know, Sora has, like, so many different versions of Sora. Agumon has so many different versions of Agumon, it's ridiculous. So, it doesn't play like a standard RPG. When you get into a fight, you fight right there and then on the spot that you're fighting at. So, sometimes the terrain will get in your way, and it becomes a problem when you get stuck with a small terrain, like with Kunamon. Kunamon is very, very terrible to fight early on. And then you get some maps that are just freaking giant, like with, Mamemon, or was it, I think it was Mamemon. Like, you have this giant field that you can't see anything at. And dude, Machinedramon's dumb. Machine Drumon's actually pretty terrible to fight. And the fun fact is, after you beat the game, there's a secret dungeon that appears at a specific time that you can go through at a specific location. It's like 4 different locations. One's at like, Mayotismon's mansion. Another, I think, is at Ugamon's hideout, etc., etc. And it's a short little dungeon that's very reminiscent of Infinity Mountain. And you fight a super version of Machine Dramon at the end. And all you get for winning is a chain melon, which extends the life of your Digimon by like, a few days, I think. Which is like, okay. And you can repeat that boss fight over and over and over. You get nothing for it. You get absolutely nothing for doing it, so I don't know why that's a thing. I think one of the worst areas in the game, personally, I think is, does it help me the areas? I don't think it helps me the area. Infinite lifespan Digimon, you can. You very well can. One of the worst, I think Hoyt Hound is kind of annoying, but Hoyt Hound isn't as annoying as like, the winter area. I don't remember what it's called. It might be called Freezeland or something like that. But like, there's a couple very annoying areas. And here's the worst part. Sometimes when you do a screen transition, you immediately get into a fight. Like there's a Digimon that's literally right where you're at, and you get into a fight. It's pretty bad. It's poorly thought out with the Digimon placements. So you can just be like, oh, I'm gonna go back this way, and oops, I gotta immediately fight this Digimon. But yeah, you can totally beat this game in a day, probably less than a day, if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, this might take maybe a week, if you play it a week straight. Like, it's not a very long game. It's not a very long game. Now, it also depends on how much difficulty you have with the game. It might take more than a week. But it's not super hard. As long as, you know, you're not being dumb. Or, you know, just being a bad player. Now, Digimon World is a pretty solid game, you know. Digimon World 2, on the other hand, we will be doing Digimon World 2 at some point. We will. I really dragged it, though. I really dragged it. Now, you may be wondering, why am I dragging Digimon World 2? Digimon World 2 is a dungeon crawler. So, dungeon crawlers are generally long on their own because they're RNG nature. This game, though. Oh boy, there's, I like this game, but I also hate this game. Fun fact, I have only beaten this game one time. Once in my entire life. I cannot be bothered to replay this game myself. The reason why? It took me 6 months to beat the game once. Let that sink in. 6 months to beat this game. One time. That should tell you a lot about this game. Now, granted, I only got to play like maybe 3 or 4 hours back in the day. I didn't get to really play that long back in the day. But still, 6 months. So, it's a dungeon crawler. Like I said, you ride around in a vehicle called the Digimon. It does have HP, it has EV. EV decreases by 1 per step that you take, you know, your typical dungeon crawler stuff. There are things that reduce your HP. If your HP goes to 0, you're booted out the dungeon. If your EP's reduced to 0, you're booting out the dungeon. Yeah, we'll get to Digimon World 3 here in a bit. Did you ever play Digimon World 1 or 2 Mocation? But yeah, you can break them all. 8 Digimon in your party. 3 are in your main party. Yeah, I just got done talking about the first. If you want to recruit Digimon, you have to have an empty slot in either your reserves or your main party. Otherwise, you cannot recruit Digimon, which is a pain in the butt. Because that means if you want to get specific Digimon, you have to intentionally not bring a full party. Which is, you know, a thing. Because you want to get, like, Metal Greymon. Because Metal Greymon is super good early on. You also need to get specific Digimon to trade for other Digimon. Or you need Digimon to fuse. Fusion is a thing in this game. And I'll get to that in a second. And that's one of the terrible mechanics. So, the Megas are a thing in this game. You can't get up to Mega level. Now, here's where it becomes terrible. Yes, DNA Digievolution. So, there are level caps. Your first level cap, I believe, is level 13. In order to break the level cap, you must do DNA Digievolution. This only breaks the level cap by 2, I believe, per fusion. So, if you want to get to Champion, I believe you have to get up to level 15. If you want to get to Ultimate, it's like level 25. And if you want to get to Mega, you gotta get to like level 35. In the first game, yeah, the first game's a little bit rough, dude. I spent the last 30 minutes talking about the first game. It's a rough game, but if you know what you're doing, it's not super difficult, honestly. This game, even if you know what you're doing, it's still a rough game. It's still a rough game because of the stupid DNA Digievolution. And here's the best part. When you do DNA Digievolution, you can pick abilities from the parents and teach to your Digimon. So when you get like a champion fused with a champion, you can pick their abilities to give the offspring. You are limited on what abilities you can carry over. After a while, you're gonna have to pick and choose what abilities you're gonna have to forget. But you can set up your team in such a way where you're gonna have like AoE healing, really good AoE damage. You really want to get like Kawagamons, because Okuamon and Grand Kawagamon has like the best abilities in the game. Magnadramon and Archewomon have some of the best healing in the game, etc., etc. There's a lot of abilities that are kind of useless too, honestly. There's a lot of useless abilities. And there's some abilities that do not work at all. Which is like, why? So yeah, this game is kind of jank. Also, moving around in this game is bad, dude. It's so terrible to walk around as Akira. Like, if you're trying to walk around, it's like, good luck. Because it's so jank. PS1 level jank, man. It's even worse than Digimon World 1 moving. You cannot move in a diagonal. You can move up, down, left, right. Unless you're in a Digimon. Then you gotta hold, like, a button. No, you don't have to hold the button. You can hold the button to, hold your wheel in place. So, here's the other thing that makes this game annoying. At some point, you're gonna run into invisible traps. So, that's gonna be like mines, walls, bugs. So, mines tend to do damage to the wheel, but mines can also break parts of the Digi wheel. Which is bad, because if it breaks, like, say, your missile launcher, and you're in a dungeon that needs to use missiles, you just lost. You have to leave the dungeon. Or you get to a place that requires you to open a chest, but your arm is broken. Well, guess what you have to do? You have to leave the entire dungeon. Or bring something that fixes Digimon parts. And bugs, don't get me started with bugs, dude. Oh my goodness, the bugs. They are the absolute worst thing. So, there's several different types of bugs. There are the money bug, which eats away at the money you have. They leave after a specific amount of times, but the time that they leave is random. So they might leave after like 1 step, they might leave after like 50 steps. It's awful. So there's one for money, there's one for EP, which that's awful. I can't remember all of them, but one of the worst ones is the return bug. What does the return bug do? It will send a random Digimon in your party back to your reserve slots. So go boot it out of your party back into, out of the dungeon, basically. You know what that means? You can be left with 1 Digimon in your party because it refuses to leave. It is... Yeah, you can feed the Digimon a toilet. Yeah, you can do that. It's called a portable potty for a reason. And the bosses in this game, the bosses aren't super terrible. It's just getting the bosses that are terrible. You start with like 2 or 3 floors. Ultimately, you're gonna end up with like 15, 20 floors by the end of the game. And guess what? Once you beat the game, there is a optional dungeon that is 100 floors. Past floor 30, I think, is just Mega level Digimon all the way up. Just Mega level Digimon all the way up to floor 99. Now the fun thing is, presumably there is a boss that's supposed to spawn here. People say it's a 1 in 666 chance to spawn, which is Chimeramon. And Chimeramon is in the game files. You can get Chimeramon through cheating, so he does exist. The problem is, nobody knows how you get Chimeramon. To this day, nobody knows how you get Chimeramon. People are assuming it's a Pocket Station only thing, which sounds reasonable. We never got the Pocket Station here, but even people in Japan don't even know how you get this thing. Like, there is no video evidence or any actual evidence of anyone legitimately getting Chimeramon. So, it could be a dummy Digimon, but people are assuming it's through, that optional dungeon. I think it's called Hera Domain. Now, what do you get for finishing Hera Domain? Just a whole bunch of point planes. That's all you get at the top. It's like point planes and, like, stat boosters for Digimon and stuff like that. Which isn't really that much of a reward. It takes like freaking 5 hours to get through that dungeon. It's awful. If I ever play this game and I unlock that, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that dungeon. Because it's gonna take way too long to get through. And the other thing about this game that makes it so terrible, it takes forever to level up. It takes a ridiculous amount of time to level up. And, to make it worse, this is a game where EXP is divided across your party members in your main party. So if you have 1 Digimon, you get full EXP. If you have 2, it's split between the 2, etc., all the way to 3. It's awful, dude. It's really bad. Now, there are people who have beaten the game without resorting to DNA Digimon. So they resorted to get him random Digimon out in the wild. I think I can't say the name. Nerdhood. Guy in Nerdhood managed to get this. Managed to do this. Hold on. That's the YouTuber's name. I can't say. I don't know why I have trouble saying that name, but like, I believe he did a no DNA Digimon run of Digimon World 2, which is insane. Someone did. A few people did. But like, the game is so slow. Like, it's not a bad game. It has a really, really good boss theme in it. Like, it legit has some pretty good music. But like, the gameplay is slow. For whatever reason that I cannot fathom, every time a Digimon hits a turn and do an attack, like, say it goes like a Digimon, right? It takes like 5 full seconds before they do their attack. 5 seconds. And that's for every Digimon on the field. So if there's like 6 Digimon, you're wasting 6 Digimon. You're wasting 30 seconds doing nothing. That's how slow, and it literally takes like, I want to say like 15 seconds to get into a fight. Like, from getting into a fight to actually being able to input commands, it takes like 15 seconds. It's a very, very slow game. It's not very well handled, in other words. It's not very well handled at all. Now, this game, I don't know if it introduced Digimon or not. I don't think Magnadramon ever... No, Magnadramon was in the Digimon movie. The one with Sarubimon. I forget what it was called, but it was in the Digimon movie with Serafimon. I think Serafimon was in that one too, but yeah, Magnadramon was in that. This game gave us it gave us Omnimon. It gave us I think you could get Imperial Dramon and Imperial Dramon Paladin mode here, and you can also get Diaboromon. And they were all pretty okay Digimon, I think. So that's Digimon World 2. I don't really have a lot to say here, other than the fact that whenever Gownstroyer played this game, whenever me and him would play this, he would make me restart the game like every single time we play, and it's like, oh my god, my dude, please. This game's slow enough as it is. I don't want to keep replaying. He does that with every game. He does that with every game. And it's like, oh my god, my dude. Why are you doing this to me? Please, stop. So, I don't remember the story for the game at all. I do not remember the story at all for the game. The story is whatever, really. You're not really playing for the story, because the story's gonna be nonsensical anyways. It's probably very generic, too. I believe there are 3 different, world maps to go to. I think each of them has at least 6 locations. And it does make you go back through some of the locations too, which get upgraded over time, by the way. So that 3-floor dungeon will become like a 8-floor dungeon later on with stronger Digimon. So yeah, that's fun, having to redo old dungeons. Again, sometimes you get stuck because it's like, oh, I don't have to hire. So you're gonna have to grind for, like, the best Giggs wheel parts. I'm debating how I want to handle this game. Guys, how do I want to handle this game when I do it? How do I want to handle this game whenever I do it? Do I want to do it legit, like I did back in the day? Do I want to use something to help with EXP and stuff? I don't know. Because this is going to be a very, very long game. Now, a bug fits wrong, because a bug fits wrong. What about a bug fits RAM? Never heard of a ROM. Well, I heard of a ROM. There was a ROM in Neptunia, but you mean, you know, a bug fits. A bug fits would be pretty nice. I don't know what fits is. So, Digimon World 3, ladies and gentlemen. This is a game I only beat once as well. So Digimon World 1 is the only Digimon World game I only beat multiple times. Give me a second. So, it is super slow. Yes, it's super slow. Fights take a while to get through. And honestly, it's a hard game. This game is a hard game. It really is. Because fights are super rough, dude. And it's so easy against... You can make the Azelmon by getting a Digimon, Gallantmon, and Malon. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden, there's a lot of hidden Digimon in this game. Guy, a nerd, Hood, Guy, a nerd, Hood, managed to, do a guide or a video on all the secret gigs solution. A lot of them you're never gonna see unless you grind. You have to, like, super grind to see some of them. Like, VTuberEn's one of them. And VTuberEn apparently sucks. Imperial Dramon Paladin Mode is one. Omnimon's another. I think Malomyo's is one. So yeah, there's a lot of hidden Digimon, but most of them kind of just suck. And you're never gonna see them because it requires, like, so much grinding. This follows a more traditional RPG battle system. You send out one Digimon. It's more like Pokemon. Motivation said it best. It's more like Pokemon. You throw out a Digimon, you can switch out in the middle of a fight, which takes a turn. You can throw items to help your Digimon, etc., etc. There is an element system, but, like, I don't know how good the element system... I mean, the element system does matter. You can get involved in the middle of a fight, assuming you're able to do so. There's a lot of various Dig solutions you can get for various Digimon. But it depends on level of the Digimon and other things. It's a weird game. It's a weird Pokemon-esque game, I'm gonna say. The thing about this that's hard is, you grind up an ultimate level. Yeah, here's the thing. I start with Gilmon so I could get, Growlmon. Because Growlmon has an ability that lets you steal. If people know what... People who have played the game know where I'm going with this. And then I would try to level up enough so that I could go fight a, I think it's a Triceramon, who is the ultimate level, by the way. Yeah, every 3 steps is a battle, and it takes forever. So, I would go and fight a Triceramon, who is more than likely gonna kill you. However, if you're lucky, you can steal an accessory from Triceramon, and run away from fight. Now, if you get that accessory, what that accessory does, it gives you a counter. So whenever you take damage, you will do that same amount of damage back at the opponent. Sometimes double that damage, if you're lucky. So guess who sees the game using that? Digimon's your favorite? I like Gilmon. Gilmon's always been one of my favorite Digimon, honestly. Gilmon's just a great guy. But yeah, I'd seize the game with that accessory. I would put it on everyone because, like, dude, grinding in that game's awful. Do you remember how hard it was in Level Up with that game mode, Basin? Do you remember how hard it was? Actually, hey, do you also remember how hard it was to level up? I remember it being stupidly hard to level up with that game. Like, you had to grind and grind and grind just to get one level. And the worst part is, every Digivolution had its own level. So, you could get your rookie up to, like, level 30, but your champion is, like, level 1. So, you have to level up your champion in order to, you know... It took a couple hours to get an ultimate. It took a long time just to get anywhere. And the worst part is, in the Numamon cave, I think that's, like, the best, level up spot. It takes a lot of patience. I never did everything in the game, by the way. Also, fun fact. Guy a nerd who did this video to is the Japanese version of the game. Well, let me start with this. It's the American version of the game. At the end of the game, spoilers, by the way, everyone, like, all the humans get hurt to, like, pigs, right? So that, like, makes things really, really suck because you miss out on, like, everything. And you can't do any optional content anymore, so, you know, that sucks. And you can't play cards or anything. So you beat the game, and that's it, you beat the game. However, if you reload the save, it's still the same thing, like, everyone's still a pig and whatnot. So, basically, that's it. Whatever you give before bed, that's all you can do. Now, you never got the end boss. The end boss is a jerk. Okay, I might have to look at that later. I might have to also look for, you know, a game, because I don't know if the one I have is, you know, good. Here's the thing about the Japanese version of Digimon World 3. Is either the Japanese or European. Once you beat the game, you can do a post-game. Everyone's back to normal. There is a post-game content where the ultimate boss in the game is fought in the arena. And there's also, like, black versions of bosses, like Black War Greymon, Black Hyranamon, or not Black Hyranamon. You know what I mean. There's, like, super bosses you can fight. And the final super boss you fight, I think, is, Infamon. Or not Infamon, the final super boss is Armageddonmon. Ah, I see. And how reliable is that, hey? Is it safe? But yeah, this game, it cut, I don't know why they cut the, I don't know why they cut the extra content out in the American and, probably the European version. Digimon World 2003 is the PAL version. Ours is just called Digimon World 3, so the PAL version is Digimon 2003. Armageddonmon? I mean, Armageddon is post-game in this game. So, if you never beat the Digimon World 3, then you've never fought Armageddon. You've never fought Armageddon if you never, beat the game. And if you don't have a PAL version. And let me tell you, some of the bosses, some fights in this game are just absolutely dumb. Yeah, not to be confused with Apocalypse. You will fight Apocalypse several times at the final dungeon. It's a very common fight at the final dungeon. The final boss is Galactimon. And you'll fight Galactimon like in 2 or 3 phases. So ultimately Galactimon is trying to fuse with the Earth and become Gaiamon. So yeah, you're trying to stop Galactimon from, destroying the higher planet by fusing with it. That's kind of terrifying, honestly, when you think about it. Yeah, Millenniummon is nowhere to be found in Digimon World 1, 2, or 3. Millenniummon you fight in one other game. Not in a Digimon World game, as far as I know, but in a fighting game, you fight Millenniummon. And we'll get that probably another time. Because I'm running out of time. But yeah, this game's very slow, it's very tedious, and it's very easy to get lost. Like, super easy to get lost. So, I'm very, very debating on if I want to play this game. I'm not sure if I want to play this on stream. I mean, if I do Digimon World 2, I'll probably do Digimon World 3. But, like, I don't know, dude. Digimon World 2 and 3 are like... There is game past the beginning. It really is. I know, right? I have like I said, I've beaten the game one time. Once. And got screwed seasoning it with the accessory. Because let me tell you, I was fighting bosses, and I would have, like, say, 1500 HP, right? And the boss would hit me once and do, like, 1100 damage. And I'm like, bro, how much grinding are you expecting me to do? I'm at, like, level 25, 30 here, and I'm taking, like, almost, like, all my life. Like, I would have, like, more Groundmon fighting at level 30 against bosses, and he would be dying almost all the time, and it's like, bro, it's War Groundmon. Why is he getting absolutely boggy? And fun fact, one of the bosses you have to fight uses instant death. It's like, oh, instant death. Oh, you use instant death. Good for you. I'm so happy. Congratulations. You can do instant death. This game it's a thing. It's really a thing. And getting all the equipment... Here's the other thing. You're grinding for levels, right? But you also gotta grind for equipment. Because there is equipment in this game. I never played the DS World games, by the way. But, like, there is so much... Like, Digimon World 2 and 3 is just unlimited grind works. It really is. It's kind of not a very well-handled game. Now, I don't have much else to say about World 3. I have more to say about World 1 than 2 and 3. Let's talk about another game that I played a lot. What game is that? Well, that game would be, if I can find it. Where is it? I went the wrong way for one. That game would be... Why can I not find it? War Forest Bag. I'm gonna play it at some point. Digimon Rumble Arena. This is like one of the first fighting games that I played, one of the earlier ones. This game's a fun game, honestly. It's pretty jank. I believe I sewed this off. I kind of want to re-sew it off, though. Just to revisit it. I don't know, do you guys want me to revisit this game? There's not a whole lot to the game. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But, like, it's a fun game. It's just a silly, fun game. Rumble Arena 2. You know, I never got to play Rumble Arena 2. Wolf Force, like Diablo-like with none of the fun parts. Oh. Yeah, Rumble Arena 2, I think, was for PS2 or GameCube? I never got to play it. But, Rumble Arena, yeah, as you can see, it's kind of like Smash in a way. It's a platform fighter. And you get to play with, like, all of the major Digimon, kinda. You get Agumon, Gabumon, Gatomon, Beemon, Renamon, Gilmon, Harriermon, Panamon. You know, thinking about it, you only get Beemon from Season 2. Beemon is the only one they cared about. And then you get some secret Digimon like Black War Greymon, Omnimon, Imperial Dramon, and then you get Reapermon. Fun fact! What if I told you that the voice for Reapermon and I think Black War Greymon is Cloud's voice actor? I believe it's the same voice actor that does Cloud. That does Reapermon and Black War Greymon. I can't remember his name now. Shoot, what was his name? Stephen Bloom, I think it was? I believe that's the name. I believe that's who did Reapermon and, you know what? I can probably look. Let's look. Oh. Here he is. Yeah, oh, he did Gilmon, Gallantmon, Reapermon, and Black War Greymon. So yeah, there's Cloud's VA right there. It's... What are you talking about? Hey, are you talking about Digimon World War? I mean... Digimon World 1 is honestly a pretty fine game, I think. Winged. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Digimon World 1 is probably the best one. Yeah, I don't remember Steve Bloom from this game. I remember him from, Cloud. But yeah, Digimon World 1 is the best game out of the series. This game is honestly a pretty solid, fine game, I feel like. It's very jank, it's very silly, and you can cheese it. I did a video on cheesing in this game. It's very easy to cheese. Super easy to cheese. But, Paul St. Pierre? Why does that name sound familiar? Kirk Orton sounds familiar. Wow, I really don't recognize any of these names, but like, you know. It's a fine game. You beat people up. Steve Bloom did Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Did he really? That guy's been around. That guy's been around like crazy. But yeah, it's a platform fighting game. You do like 6 rounds, and then you fight Reapermon. Reapermon's a jerk. Reapermon is a cheater. If you're gonna fight Reapermon, you're gonna have to cheese him, because he's a jerk, and he will grim slasher you to death. That's all I have to say about this game. The other fighting games... I did this a long time ago, so there's Battle Spirit, right? These are, Game Boy Advance, platform fighters. And it's basically, That's like the voice. I know him from Clown. I never really watched Cowboy Bebop, so I can't speak on Cowboy Bebop. But Digimon Battle Spirit 1 and 2, if I recall, they're like wow, gimp stickers. I didn't realize that. It's like a Smash game where you hit the opponent and you get I think you get points. Let me look. Do you have life? No, you get like points. Yeah, I see the points up there at the top. No! Gimps did like all the anime fighting games. Yeah, it seems like it. I remember Gimps doing a lot of stuff back in the day. But they're very simple fighting games. You hit the other opponent, you collect the balls, or spears, whatever you want to call them. They're blue balls. You're going to get blue balls a lot. And I believe the final boss... Yeah, Millenniumon's the final boss of the first one. So you fight Millenniumon, and then after you beat Millenniumon, I think he becomes, I think you fight a Moon Millenniumon. Yeah, you fight Millenniumon in this game. So you fight Millenniumon here. I think it's like the second one you fight Cherubimon. They're both pretty much identical games for the most part. They both pretty much play the same way. Battle Spirit 2 takes on Digimon Frontier, which is Season 4. So I think it takes on, I don't know if it brings back the characters from the first game. I don't remember. Gunimon, Lopamon. No, yeah, it's basically just ghost characters. Wait. Yeah, it's just ghost characters from Season 4. So yeah, you beat each other up, you collect the balls, etc., etc. They're not very difficult games. They're really not. The final fights might be a little bit... My favorite, Legendary Warrior? What do you mean, Legendary Warrior? You're gonna have to specify that one. Are you talking about, like in Season 4? Are you talking about, like, the Royal Knights? Are you talking about... Wait, what are you talking about? Season 4? What do you mean Steve Bloom did Wolverine, Sakusai, and Orochimaru? I didn't know he did those. What did he do, Wolverine? Season 4. You know, I don't remember all the characters. So, are you talking about, like, Legendary Warriors, like, are you talking about, like, say, Agunimon? Like, Agunimon, Lopamon, Beomon, all of them? Or are you talking about, like, their final forms? I mean, personally, if I had to pick someone, it might be Agunimon. I like Agunimon's character. But I do like me, I mean, you know, I do like me some Kasemon. Kasemon's pretty cool. No horny. No horny. No horny. You will get bonked. I will bonk you. Oh my god, don't remind me of Tommy. Do not remind me of Tommy. Tommy is even worse than Heike in the first season. And Heike was awful in the first season. Ugh, Tommy. Alright, so, the last Digimon game, this is the last Digimon game I played. I didn't get to play that many of the Digimon games, so we will be fixing that. We will be fixing things. Heike got cool in Season 2 at least, yeah. So don't worry, there will be more Digimon on the channel. There will be. It will happen. So Digimon Card Battle is a card game. it's, you play one Digimon who fight, and you reduce the other's HP to 0 because card effects. It's a very, very interesting card game. It can be pretty difficult. Digimon World, what? Digimon World Digital Card Battle? Apparently this is a prequel. Oh, this is a prequel to that game. Interesting. Digimon DS and Dawn of Dusk. It'll happen at some point, more than likely. I'm trying to get through my Yu-Gi-Oh! Kick. Because I'm doing all these Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, I want to get through Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll see what happens. There's a lot of stuff in the horizon. This game is... It's an interesting game. Because you can Digivolve your Digimon if you draw the card. It's not a very easy game. I will say this game's not easy. It's still good though, I think. It just depends on how you handle your deck and all that. I can't really speak much on this game, really. Like, this is a game where you have to pretty much play it. Please do not reset my progress and reset. So there are specific types: Fire, Ice, Nature, Darkness, Rare. They do matter in regards to what type of abilities they use and all of that. I don't remember if they yeah, like Fire has high attack, low HP, average Digimon points. Ice has high HP, attack, seal, counter, etc., etc. So each type does specific things. By the way, you can play some of these Digimon games two players. Digimon World 1 has a battle mode. Digimon World 2 has a battle mode. This game has a battle mode. They're not really that great, though. This one might be better at the battle modes. Also, this is not developed by Gimps. How about that? But yeah, this also came with a card. I think it came with an Imperial Dramon card if you bought this game when it came out. I already did this in the past. I am not going to be redoing this game. So, any of the Digimon games I did in the past, Digimon World 1, Card Battle, Rumble Arena, Battle Spirit 1, and Battle Spirit 2, I probably will not redo. Digimon Rumble Arena is probably the only one I might consider redoing, perhaps. I'm not sure. That would just be for a silly stream, probably. So how many Digimon games are there I have not done? Let me look. I can do, by the way. There's the PSP Digimon Adventure game, which I would need to have, I would need to have the fan translation for. Digimon All-Star Rumble. What's that for? That's for PS3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that one at any point. I wonder if that's on the PlayStation PSN. It might be. Any others that I could probably do? What's Fuse and Fighters? It's an RPG. It's for smartphone. Never mind. Digimon Masters? I think it's an MMO, right? Oh wow, it's still going. It's still ongoing. Oh, it switched from SDK to Unity. Interesting. How is this game still going? What? Wow, it's a Digimon game that's, okay. Yeah, I really wish they would re-release Digimon World 1, 2, and 3 update with, you know, quality of life stuff, like faster frame rates, you know, other things like that. Like, maybe even a way and, like, help with grinding without changing the core gameplay too much. Oh, that sucks. Digimon Pinball. Interested. Oh, Digimon World 1. Yeah, no plans. It would be cool if they did, but you know, here's a game I thought of doing. Is Digimon Racing. I might have to do this at some point. The upcoming one is a new RPG. Are you talking about Time Stranger? I heard about Time Strangers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with that. Rebel Arena 2. What is Rebel Arena 2 for? PS2. And GameCube. Ah. So, it's PS2 and GameCube, huh? Interesting. Interesting. So I could do this at some point, more than likely. It's similar to Melee, except with a health meter. Okay. Interesting. I already have Cyber Sleuth. Hey. I have Cyber Sleuth already. I have, give me a second if you will. I have, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. Yeah, I already have it. You don't have to worry about that. There's Digimon Story Cross Wars. It's funny that a lot of Digimon games are Japan only when you really think about it. Like, so many of them, like, I feel like half, 3/4 of the Digimon games are just Japan only. Digimon Survive. What the heck is Digimon Survive? What is this game? What is Digimon Survive? It's a visual novel, okay. So yeah, there's not really many Digimon games that I could do. Digimon World Championship? It's a DS. Strategy puzzle, interesting. Hacker's memory is kind of bad, is it? So there's Digimon World DS. Here's the remake of Digimon World, which is Japan only. And gonna get upgrade to on the 3DS, so that's never gonna happen. Here's Dawn of Dusk. Digimon World Gaia Squad. Apparently that's PS2. Interesting. Oh, this is like Season 5. Ooh, Season 5. There's Digimon World Next Order. That's PS4? Is it a RPG? What is this? Oh, this is it's part of the Digimon World. Oh, right. This is like this is later with Digimon World. Yeah. If I'm licensed, if you're licensed, recommend Gus. Why? Also, I see you there, Luceimon. I see you, Luceimon. I think there's all of these random Japanese. So yeah, there's not really that many Digimon games that I can do. Which is a shame, honestly. It's a shame. I think that's it for Digimon. There wasn't really a whole lot for me to talk about with the Digimon series. So maybe me starting at 4:30 was a good idea. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing more Digimon Zatsus, for the simple fact that all that's left is just talking about the Digimon themselves and the card games. I'm not sure. What do you guys want? Do you want a Zatsu just for the cards and the Digimon themselves? If we do the Digimon themselves, that's gonna take an awfully long time to get through, I feel. It's gonna take an awfully long time. The cards, I mean, we could do the cards. What do you guys think? Give me just a second. I am doing something real quick. Give me a second. I'll let you guys decide that. I'm going to be calling it for today. Again, the schedule... Where'd my schedule go? Schedule! Schedule! There's a little bit difference, I see. So, again, for those who are wondering, this is going to be for next week. Tomorrow's going to be 100 Black Market. Give me a second, hey, and I'll answer that. So, we'll see if I finish 100 Black Market tomorrow. I doubt I will. So, after tomorrow, this is what we're going to be doing. Nighttime streams are still going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams. Now, when I get done with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection, I might replace one of the short game streams with the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. We'll see what happens, but yeah, FF8 will start on Monday, Bloodborne Tuesday, Sailor Moon S on Wednesday, Bayonetta Thursday, more Bloodborne Friday, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zatsudan next week, and then we'll see about Sunday. The question, hey, is, should I do more Zatsudan for Digimon? Because it's only going to be for the card game, and it's only going to be for the Digimon themselves. Let me go ahead and find who's streaming who. So Nimi's going to be streaming more Hollow Knight here in a little bit. Mint is currently doing Half-Life 2. Kiara's currently doing Hollow Knight. I think. I think she's doing Hollow Knight at the moment. She might not be. Let me see. Anyone else? Bay's going to be doing a karaoke tonight at 11 p.m. I'm probably actually not going to watch that, sadly. Because I do want to finish off Recipe of Destruction. Doki's going to be doing Hollow Knight at 8 p.m. Miju's going to be doing Hatsune Miku Project Diva Megamix Plus at 9 p.m. That's going to be something for her. Callie is going to be... Callie's only going to be streaming in the mornings for us. So it's going to be like 6 a.m. for her. Or it's 6 a.m. EST for us. Just because, you know, Callie put a tweet out. You can read her tweet about it. Let me see. Anyone else streaming at the moment? Not at the moment. That's all that's streaming. Yeah, the World, Digimon World 3 has the card game baked in. I'm not talking about, like, World 3. I'm not talking about, like, the actual card game. You know, like, the, official card game. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, like, Digimon Card Battle or Digimon World 3 card game. I'm talking actual card game. So that's all for today. Apologies that this Zatsudan wasn't very interesting. I didn't really have as much to talk about with the series as I thought. I spent like half an hour talking about Digimon World 1, and then all the other Digimon Worlds Digimon games didn't really get much spotlight. It's honestly kinda hilarious. I think that tells you how much I played World 1. Alright, that's all for today. We'll probably be doing Reserve of Destruction later tonight and wrap it up. Because we're at the end game in that game. Who's messaging me? Okay. It's you. So yeah, Reserve of Destruction will happen tonight more than likely. Because I think Bay's only gonna do like a couple hours of karaoke. Which, I mean, I can watch, but, you know, I want to get this game out of the way. And then tomorrow will be 100 Black Market. So, I have no advice for today. I will say until next time, everyone, you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night. And I will catch you on the flip side of the void. You all take care.